Again, welcome to everyone joining us tonight, both in person and also virtually. We have a great night of information for you and celebration with a big announcement about the Rankin Foundation future at the end of our program. A ginormous thank you to our presenting sponsor, and they deserve a round of applause, Assurant. Please welcome Alicia Bailey, Global Head of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, and the Assurant Foundation, as well as a Rankin Foundation board member. Welcome.
All right. Thank you so much, Monica. I am so honored to be here. And of course, Assurant and the Assurant Foundation have had the good fortune and honor to partner with the Rankin Foundation for the last 8 years. And of those 8 years, 6 of those, we were the presenting sponsor. So that is absolutely awesome. So congratulations. The partnership for us expanded in 2017 when Assurant helped Rankin single-handedly diversify the volunteer and application readers process by enabling Assurant employees across the globe. We are a global organization, and when it comes to our marketplace pillar, we ensure that all of our employees are engaged. This past year, Rankin called, and you guys said we needed help for our scholars who needed laptops to be able to support their assignments for their homework. In fact, we had some scholars that were doing their homeworks on cell phones. So of course, the foundation answered that call, and we provided 46 refurbished laptops to 46 very deserving Rankin scholars. We continue to be innovative in the way we support the Rankin Foundation, which includes, we have employees from our Women at Assurant group who volunteer to do the application reading process for the Rankin scholarships. We are continually impressed by the Rankin Foundation, the Rankin scholars, and with the Rankin Foundation's delivery of the mission to transform futures through education. Assurant, as I mentioned, has been the presenting sponsor, and we are, of course, honored to continue to do so. Thank you all, and I am going to challenge you all to continue to support Rankin Foundation and the support of education. Thanks, Monica.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you, Assurant. Thank you to also our Galaxy sponsor, Synchrony. We're so glad to have you in the house with us today. Yes, Synchrony. You are critical to the important work that we do supporting Rankin scholars. Big thank you also to Innova Solutions, Stride Executive Coaching, woo! Elevance, and of course, Merrill Lynch. And with our Supernova sponsors. You see all of them on the screen. So I hope you not only notice all of the names of the sponsors, but where you can, use their services and tell them, because you supported the Rankin Foundation, I'm supporting you. Okay? All right. Well, at the Rankin Foundation, we are inspired every day by our namesake, Jeannette Rankin. She was the first woman elected to Congress who broke the first glass ceiling, helping give women across the country the right to vote. Her courageous spirit to create catalytic change inspires our organization, our scholars, and every person who learns her story. A bequest from Jeannette Rankin's estate to help, quote, mature unemployed women workers started the Jeannette Rankin Foundation.
Jeannette Rankin was born in 1880 in Missoula, Montana, on a ranch just outside of the city.
She was the oldest of 7 children.
She went to the University of Montana and got a degree in biology.
In her early years, she had been a social worker. That's how she began her career.
She actually worked in an orphanage in Seattle. And she realized that doing the work on the ground in the orphanage was a good thing, but it wasn't going to fix the problem. And she realized that public policy was the way to make something change. And that's when she really had the vision that she should run for office, to do something on a national level to fix the problems.
When I think of Jeannette Rankin, I think of courage, because courage is what it took for her to step out of the stereotype of a 19th century woman at her time, and really break down the barriers.
When she was campaigning in Montana to establish the women's right to vote in Montana, she would specifically go to high schools and talk to high school students. And she would say to them, I want you to go home tonight and ask your fathers why your mothers can't vote. The students did that, and I'm sure the fathers were stuttering and stumbling and couldn't really come up with a good reason, because of course women got the vote in Montana due to Jeannette's efforts as a campaigner.
It was the turn of the century, and women had no rights, really. And no one thought that women should have rights at that point in time. So it was a very radical notion that a woman should have the vote. And Jeannette was very helpful in Washington, the state of Washington, to get the vote passed, to give women the vote. And that inspired her to come back to her home state of Montana to work on suffrage here in Montana. Jeannette Rankin was the first woman elected to Congress in 1916. She took her seat in 1917 and advanced legislation for women to get the vote, the 19th Amendment. And she is the only woman to vote on giving women the vote.
In 1916, when only 12 of the 48 states even permitted women to vote, Jeannette Rankin of Montana became the first woman member of the United States Congress.
But we felt that if having a woman in Congress would make it very difficult for the men in Congress to vote against woman suffrage.
What she was saying is, you're not going to have a complete society, and you'll never be to your fullest potential if you don't include women.
People who are change agents often are alone in their journey, in a way, in that internal isolation, right? Because in Congress, where she's the only woman in a Congress that was full of these bravado men who just didn't see a woman's voice mattering at all. And here she was, overcoming all of that to get elected by people who saw her.
The beauty of it is she didn't give up. It was like, okay, I'm here, not going anywhere. You all gonna have to deal with it.
There's a number of people in the population for whom she's not popular, particularly because of her vote against entry into World War I and into World War II.
That created a great uproar. And of course, they insisted that I was in tears. I had shed all the tears I could shed long before the vote came.
I think she was a complex personality. There wasn't a simple Jeannette Rankin. She was someone who had really dedicated her life to helping other people.
So after Jeannette finished her first term in Congress, she was invited by the Georgia Peace Society to come to Georgia and help build the Peace Society there. So she moved to Georgia, and she stayed there from 1920 till she passed away in 1973.
She loved visiting her neighbors and having her neighbors visit her. She became a member of that community. Not a former representative who was high and mighty. She was involved in that community.
She had lots of loving relationships with people. There were so many people in Georgia who knew her and loved her.
I imagine what she went through, and she stood the test of time. She made people understand how important it was to empower women.
She was such a pioneer, and I'm so grateful for her hard work and her example, her toughness, her resilience, standing up for what she believed in, and especially for women and children.
Women can be such a galvanizing force in society for positive representation, and also preserving our democracy, and really also just demonstrating what it means to be inclusive, to give equity regardless of gender and race and ethnicity. So I think of her, when I think of Jeannette Rankin, I think of all those dynamics and how relevant it is to what we're experiencing today.
Jeannette Rankin was engaged her whole life in the political sphere and advocating for social justice, racial justice, and gender equity. She did the Rankin Brigade in 1968, and in the late 60s, early 70s, shortly before she passed away in 1973, she considered another run for Congress. And ultimately that did not happen, but that shows you how engaged she was her whole life. The foundation started with a bequest from Jeannette Rankin's Georgia homestead. She wanted to help, quote, mature unemployed women workers, unquote. And so the 5 wonderful women that started this organization thought a way to do that would be through a scholarship foundation. And we gave our first scholarship in 1976, and the foundation and the scholar grants are carrying on her legacy.
Wonderful. Please welcome to the stage Karen Stirk, CEO of the Rankin Foundation.
Hello and welcome. My name's Karen Stirk, and I'm the CEO of the Jeannette Rankin Foundation. I have the honor and privilege of getting up every morning and figuring out how we can transform futures through education. What better way to honor Jeannette Rankin, who was a social justice advocate, sponsoring the first legislation to support women and children, as well as being the only woman who voted on giving women the vote? Going to school costs much more than tuition. Different than traditional scholarships, our non-institutional, non-tuition grants are awarded directly to students across the United States. This significantly increases the impact of our scholar grants. Our scholars feel trusted and empowered to use the funds in whatever way they choose to reach graduation and ease college debt. Along the way, our case management, coaching, and community of scholars help make long-sought dreams available. On behalf of our Rankin Scholars, thank you for being here. You know, one of the ways that we evaluate grant applications is by the amount of grit a woman has. And I will tell you, this is an attribute that Rankin Scholars have in abundance. They live on a median income of $20,000 a year, let that soak in, a year, for an average household of 3. Yeah, and they persist. This past year, 94% of the Rankin Scholars persisted, meaning that they either graduated or they continued their studies. Yes, compare that to the 6 to 30% that is normal for this group of women. So your support boosts women with limited resources and unlimited potential as they transform their lives through education. You've met several scholars and alums already, and you'll see and hear more of their inspiring stories tonight. Investing in Rankin Scholars is a high-yield investment that will help a woman earn up to $700,000 more in her lifetime. That's an investment that lifts women, lifts families, lifts the community, and lifts the United States. Thank you.
One of the things that really impressed me when I came to Jeannette Rankin was the 8-foot-tall map of the United States upstairs. And on that map of the United States is a dot representing each one of our scholars. And it just shows to me the incredible impact. We have scholars in every state.
What I have learned being a Jeannette Rankin Scholar is it is all rooted in love. love for myself, love for mankind, love for seeing others do better, because if others do better, then we all benefit from that.
It has been said that when you educate a man, you educate an individual. When you educate a woman, you educate a family and a community and the nation.
Women's role in the world and in society is connected to the well-being of everyone.
50% of all of our households in this country are now headed by women.
The mission of the Jeannette Rankin Foundation is to support and empower women to get their higher education degrees and ultimately to create better lives for themselves, for their families, and for their communities.
Our women have grit.
The scholars are an incredibly resilient and courageous group of women.
These are women who have gone through a lot of challenges in their lives before we get to know them. 50% or more are survivors of domestic violence. They're working full-time. They're, parenting, and largely single parenting.
And yet they still dare to think, I can get my college degree and I can improve my life.
The way scholarship organizations measure their effectiveness is persistence rate. And persistence rate means the number of people who continue and the number of people who graduate. And our persistence rate has continually been above 85%, and this year was 94%.
We have an average GPA of 3.6 of our scholars coming through us every single year.
I remember thinking, I want better for my daughters. And the only way that they are gonna know what better is if I show them. And so I made the decision to come to school. I'm doing this for them, yes, but I didn't realize along the way that I was doing it for myself too. And I realize that now. Like, I needed it just as much as they need it.
It's a video of the notification of the scholars that they've received the funds.
And they're just overcome with joy, and then we're all sitting there overcome with joy and crying.
Some of the scholars have said things like, I will make you proud. And in addition to the thank yous, the copious thank yous, they say, thank you so much for believing in me.
Receiving this scholarship is like a stamp of approval. You're worth something. You're worth our attention. You're worth our investment. Now go do it.
The funds can be used for any purpose whatsoever. We've had recipients who needed new tires because they had to transport a fair distance to get to school, childcare, food, paying the utility bills.
We look at their larger life, their total life, and say, what are the obstacles? She wants to pursue this education. What's getting in her way?
That aspect of agency is what makes the Jeannette Rankin Foundation scholarship funds so very powerful. And I think it's something that the scholars really appreciate, is that level of trust.
The difference with Jeannette Rankin is that they said, we're gonna take this walk with you. They wanted to make sure that I was okay. They went the extra mile to say, we're here. What do you need? What do you need financially, but more importantly, emotionally, what do you need?
I'm telling you, whatever they need, I know that they can get it from the staff here. And I hope we can continue to foster that, not just with our team, but even from sister to sister.
It's not just a check, and they tell us that again and again and again, how important the support is.
For me, it's really important for women to support other women because we understand each other. And when you understand each other and when you validate each other, it makes you feel more powerful together. And I didn't realize how much that I needed a community like that.
So it's believing in them, and then it's adding all that wraparound support. That's the secret sauce that makes the Jeannette Rankin Foundation different.
Excellent. The Rankin Foundation is doing such important work, and I believe in it so much that I am proud to share with you that I am an honorary co-chair of Rankin's new strategic growth campaign called the Great Force Campaign. Now, you're going to be hearing more about that later tonight. There are so many women out there who deserve the help that the Rankin Foundation provides. Now, I want to introduce you to our fundraising host, Rob Clark, who is going to help motivate us through the evening to support these incredible women. Rob.
Monica, how are you, my friend?
I am doing great, sir. Good to see you.
It's so great to see you. I'm so excited to be back here for the 2023 Star Party. I'm from Boston. That's how we pronounce it, Star Party. But I'm greeting you from the nation's capital here. I work at Howard University, and so I am so passionate about the Jeannette Rankin Foundation and absolutely delighted to be a part of this tonight. Let's check in with the leaderboard. I've been fed the numbers that so far tonight, based upon all of the very generous support, $75,650 so far. Can I get a whoop, whoop?
Whoop, 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 whoop. Wow.
And remember, as you heard in the video, the Rankin Scholar has a median income of $20,000 a year for a family of 3. Can you imagine that? That works out to be about $1,700 a month. Let me repeat that, $1,700 a month. That includes rent, utilities, grocery, transportation, everything else. That's one of the reasons that the Rankin Scholar Grant is so important. Unrestricted grant works out to be about 10% of their annual income.
Wow. I mean, Rob, when you think about it, it's hard to make it on that and then go to school, and Rankin provides what's needed. Another feature that's so important to the Rankin Scholars is the emergency fund. Now, this past year, Jane was 2 short hours away from the court hearing that would have evicted her and her family from their home. The Rankin Foundation stepped in and paid the balance that was needed to keep her in her home. Another scholar had her car axle break. The Rankin Emergency Fund was able to pay for getting it fixed so she could drive to school. Rob.
That is so incredible. That's so incredible. I'm so impressed with the support staff at the Rankin Foundation for recognizing the hurdles that scholars face. Rankin Scholars are passionate, innovative, they've got grit, they show incredible resilience to reach their educational goals.
Yes, and a lot of time and energy goes into just figuring out how to pay the bills each month. And that $2,500 unrestricted scholar grant money is an extra boost.
It gives them some seriously needed breathing room.
And now that the Rankin Foundation has an emergency fund, they are able to help scholars with unforeseen college career-ending challenges like eviction notices and car repair bills that we just talked about. And let's not forget, particularly when you got kids, medical bills.
Mm-hmm. And the Rankin Scholars report that the vote of confidence that they get from being chosen as a scholar gives their morale an incredible boost.
You know, when they know someone believes in them and wants them to succeed, that is a powerful thing. Well, Rankin Scholars clearly have a goal and a purpose for their education. Come on, folks, get out those devices and support the Rankin Scholars. Hey, let's hear those cowbells. Think of how much you spend on coffee alone or takeout each month. And then think about how you can support Rankin Scholars' dreams to complete their college education. The QR codes are on the tables and on the screen, so look for the link in the chat. We encourage you to donate now. Give status where we are. I mean, let's think about it. $76,660. The link is in the chat. Your host has the QR code as well. And don't forget, last chance for the raffle. It closes down at 8:40. So get those tickets now. Right, Rob?
Get those tickets now. Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Monica. And one of the highlights from this past year was the Rankin Foundation's partnership with the Montana Tribal Colleges. Rankin supported 51 women attending Montana Tribal Colleges. Let's introduce you now to one of those women, Robyn K. Irons.
My name is Robyn K. Iron, and my Indian name is Bimak Ba, which means medicine water. Right now, I am a college student at Salish Kootenai College, and I'm studying digital design and fine arts. Being an artist for me is, in my case, is that I'm a storyteller. Whether it's in photography, whether it's in film, whether it's in design, whether it's in painting, whether it's in silversmithing, everything that I create is a story. And I really love storytelling. I love telling other people's stories. I love telling my own stories. And I really think that they're all valuable, no matter what the case may be. And I think the reason why it's so important for me to incorporate storytelling into my artistry is because as growing up on the reservation and as a reservation kid is a lot of the times we don't feel that we're heard. You know, we are so worried about surviving for that day or what we're going to eat that day. Is my mom going to be home today? And that storytelling aspect of it is a way for you to express the things that you're not okay talking about yet, but you're okay with expressing them through art because that's part of your healing. That's part of how you connect with your trauma. And I don't ever want to create art for other people. I don't ever want to create art for just for somebody to hang it on their wall. I want to create art that has meaning. I have 2 daughters, Colby and Meadow. They're 2 and they're 7. I want better for my daughters. And the only way that they are going to know what better is if I show them. And so I made the decision to come to school. And so I applied to SKC. You know how they say, like, what's meant to be will be, right? So everything just fell into place. Like, I got housing, I got scholarships. There was flyers posted all over campus about the Jeannette Rankin Foundation. And I looked into their mission and all the amazing things that they do. And I was like, this is right up my alley. I'm always for supporting women, you know?
Congratulations, you have been selected as a 2023 Rankin Foundation Native Woman Scholar.
Thank you so much.
I know.
I'm sorry. I cry about everything, but
no, don't be sorry.
It's just such a relief. Thank you so much. It means a lot. And I will, I appreciate it so much. And I'll never take it for granted. At the time, I just started crying because I was struggling financially, and I didn't really have money to pay my car payment, and it was like the best news that I could hear that day. What it means for me to get these 2 degrees is that it means that I am so capable of anything and everything that I want to do, and that I'm gonna do it, and nothing is ever gonna stop me, or no one is ever gonna stop me. And I think what's the most meaningful thing is to see my parents and my family come together and how supportive that they have been of me through this time. What makes me the most proud is to set an example, is to be an inspiration to my family, to my children, to my peers. I wish things were easier for moms, I wish things were easier for us to get help. But a lot of the times it's like we have to jump through all these hoops that we really don't have time for. And so I think that's what I really appreciated about the Jeannette Rankin Foundation. I will be going to the University of Montana. I will be majoring in journalism, and then I'll be minoring in film. And then after I get my bachelor's, I really do want to get a master's. What you are dealing with, whether it's coming from a broken home, whether it's poverty, whether it's drugs, alcohol, suicide, mental health, right? Like all those things that you're coming from, that they don't define you. No matter where you come from, no matter where your background, is that when you find the right support, the right community, the right circle of people to surround you, is that it is very important on whatever journey that you're on. Because really what that support does is it holds your hand, right? And it hugs you.
And that's what your contributions do. Please make a donation and also buy a raffle ticket. Congratulations, Ms. Irons. Now, I'd like to introduce you to Michelle Ozumba, president of the Rankin Foundation.
Thank you, Monica. Good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for being with us tonight. It is my privilege to be leading the Rankin team in our new Montana Tribal College project. In partnership with the Montana Tribal Colleges and a very generous donor, we've been able to provide grants to our first cohort of 51 women scholars currently enrolled in the 7 Montana tribal colleges. During the course of our work in Montana, we were honored to meet Dr. Sandra Boham, the president of Salish Kootenai College, also known as SKC, on the Flathead Reservation in Montana. We are over the moon excited to honor Dr. Boham, who through her lived experience, her professional expertise, and leadership, has a unique understanding of the challenges Native American women face as they parent, work to support their families, and attend college. Dr. Boham is a passionate advocate for them, an inspiring role model, and an accomplished leader. Dr. Boham has dedicated her life and career to her community and are educating countless traditional and non-traditional students. Dr. Boham's leadership has not only supported an increase in student enrollment at SKC, but a large increase of degree offerings in liberal arts and various allied health programs, including the first tribal college to have a bachelor's degree program in nursing, where students receive culturally appropriate training that helps them achieve better health outcomes in their communities that experience higher rates of health disparities than found in other populations across the United States. Dr. Boham's achievements as SKC president far exceed these academic programs and enrollment. They encompass the whole student and their needs. From affordable housing to campus security and programs highlighting Indigenous language and culture that is essential to the identity and dignity of First Nation people. President Boham understands that the heart and soul of the tribal campus are students, faculty, administrative staff, and the communities in which they live. Under Dr. Boham's leadership, SKC notably has produced the highest graduation rate of any tribal college or university in the country. The U.S. tribal college average graduation rate is 21%. At Salish Kootenai College, the graduation rate is an astounding 62%. What an astounding achievement by any standard. And what a well-deserved recognition for all you have accomplished, Dr. Boham.
Absolutely. Doctor, make some noise, absolutely. Dr. Sandra Boham, on behalf of the Jeannette Rankin Foundation, it is our honor to present you with the 2023 Rankin Foundation Shining Star Award for all that you've done, including being a shining example of the power of higher education for all of the women, especially Native American women, right here in Montana. Congratulations.
Dr. Boham, this is Monica in Atlanta. So a quick question for you. A graduation rate of 62%? What is your secret sauce?
The secret sauce, it's not one thing. What it is it's listening to the students and meeting their needs, not what you think they need. And that might sound like a simple thing, but it isn't. We discovered that we were doing a lot of things that we thought would help students be successful, but we really needed to ask students what it was they needed to be successful. And we also discovered that students who have their basic needs met can focus on being students. If you're worried about whether you can feed your children, if you're worried about whether you can feed your family for the month, you're not going to pay attention to your math class. You're going to focus on how you're going to feed your family. If you don't know if you're going to have rent money, you're going to focus on that. If you're having a mental health crisis, you're not going to be at a place to focus on school. So those are the things that we found we needed to do to help students be successful. That academics were always there. Our students are incredibly competent. They are brilliant, and they will achieve whatever it is that they set their goals on. But they have to have the barriers removed. And that's how we reached the graduation rate that we reached.
This to you seems to be more of a calling than your profession.
Yes, I was one of those students. So my family, I'm a first generation college student. I went to college as an act of defiance. I didn't want to go to college. I didn't want to go to high school. But I discovered a love for learning in higher education. My mom kind of drugged me along and said, we're going to try this thing out. And I realized that it was a social justice issue. Because the people who had those credentials, who had that education, those were the people that were making the decisions for everybody else. And if you want to impact your life, if you want to have control of your life, then you need to educate yourself and put yourself in a position to have that control. And so when I discovered that, and I have a very well-founded sense of social justice, gets me in trouble sometimes. You can't do this kind of work and not have a passion for it. It won't work. I don't know how you would do that.
Well, all I can say to you is congratulations. And one more question, only because they're outstanding. The significance of your earrings and the item on your chest.
This is a buffalo. My earrings are buffaloes. And then this is a beaded necklace. My guest that's with me tonight beaded them. We are buffalo people. And our mascot at our college is a buffalo. And so buffalo are interesting though, and why I'm really drawn to them. In a herd, it's the cows that are responsible for protecting the young, and it's not the bulls that are in charge. It's the cows that are in charge. They're the ones that are making sure that the herd is safe and that you're moving where you need to move. And when there's danger and there's calves, they put the calves in the middle and they circle up around them and keep everything away. And when there's inclement weather, when you would think there's no way to survive the wicked snowstorms, buffalo will face into it, put their head down, and walk their way through the storm to come out on the other side. How much more of a demonstration of an aspirational goal for us could you have? I love the way that they You know, our tagline at the college is grounded in tradition, charging into the future. And I see Bison that way. They're incredibly resilient, but they work together as a community.
You are simply amazing, and thank you so much. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
She's a winner. Kiara, thank you so much.
Back here at the, absolutely. Back here at the podium, we are very fortunate to have Dr. Boham's leadership right here in Montana. She's an inspiration to us all and truly a change maker in her community. Back to you, Monica.
Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Don't you agree, ladies and gentlemen? And now it's time to go to Athens with Latrina.
Thank you so much, Monica. I'm here to introduce Bridget Reed. Bridget Reed was a 2020 Jeannette Rankin Scholar and is Rankin Scholar Alumn. She holds a bachelor's degree in nursing and a master's degree in science in nursing and public health. Bridget currently works as a nursing administrator at Mary One Medical Center in Waterloo, Iowa. Bridget is a passionate advocate for improvements to community health and patient education. When she saw diabetes patients struggling to pay for their medications, she founded a nonprofit organization called Focus on Diabetes that provides community-based education, services, and screening symposiums. While serving on a cancer screening committee, she organized Project Health, a prostate cancer program designed to empower men and their families with education to be their best advocates. Through community engagement and her experience as a registered nurse, Bridget is helping to fill essential gaps between patient care and disease management. Bridget's outstanding work as a healthcare advocate has earned her many accolades, including the prestigious Iowa Volunteer Hall of Fame Award in 2021, the Iowa Hospital Association Health Hero Award, the Iowa Nurses Association Excellence in Leadership Award, and the Cedar Valley United Way Community Hero Award, among many, many others. Bridget was inducted into the Iowa Women's Hall of Fame this year in 2023. The Rankin Foundation is incredibly impressed with Bridget's passion, compassion, and dedication to making healthcare for the best it can be. Presenting the award to our former Shining Star Ranking alum, honoree, and Fulton County Commissioner, Khadija Abdur Rahman. Awesome. Well, it looks like it's already been presented. I think it is. Okay.
It's coming.
So we are thrilled to recognize Bridget for her outstanding accomplishments with the Shining Star Ranking Alum Award. We are proud to have played a role in helping her achieve her educational goals. Bridget has transformed her life through education and is transforming many others through her dedication to her career in public service. Congratulations, my sister Bridget.
Yay!
Thank you.
So, Bridge, tell me, how did you first become interested in healthcare as a kid?
Well, I always knew as a kid that I wanted to be a nurse. I just had no idea how I was going to get there. I became a mother when I was young. I got married when I was pretty young, and then divorced with young kids. And so I know what I wanted, however, I didn't know how I was going to get there. Not until I just kind of took a leap. So I'm going to try. I'm going to try and see what happens. And here I am.
Iowa Woman of the Year.
Yes, yes.
When you look back at your life, what is the advice you would give to women who are going through right now what you went through?
I would tell people to just try, because what I learned was once I took that step, that God did the rest. He put all the people in place that I needed, all the support that I needed, all the right relationships came along. But if I had not taken that first step, I probably wouldn't have never met any of those people. Or if I hadn't extended myself in some kind of way that was uncomfortable, then I wouldn't be where I am right now.
So what is the lesson also for your children?
Oh, see, I tell my children that this is what we're going to do. Okay? This is what we're going to do. Let's talk about what is it that you want out of your life. You know, where do you see your future? And then I help, because I've learned how to take the steps, I help guide them as well. And that's kind of what gives me the most joy in life, is that I'm able to take my experiences and help make somebody's just a little bit easier.
What I love is that you've honed in on things that specifically affect the Black community and Black men with prostate cancer.
Absolutely. You know, working in healthcare, you see a lot of things within the healthcare system, and none of that sat well with me. And especially the things that I see my brothers, you know, my father, my uncles endure in the healthcare system that I knew I could do something about. You know, but I just had to take another avenue. But again, one of those things that may feel a little bit uncomfortable, but once you take that first step, the other things just kind of fall in line.
And isn't it interesting that after you did all this work with diabetes, that now insulin is going to be, what, $35 a month?
Thank the Lord, right? You know, it has to happen, you know, because diabetes really affects the whole body. It's not just about diabetes. It's not just about the sugar, okay? But it is really literally about your whole body. It's about health. And, you know, when you look at the cost of medications and when people are not able to do the one thing that they need in order to live and thrive, you know, you do. And that's another thing that I like to extend myself to, advocate for things like lowering cost of medications, but even informing people that it's out there. Because you get so used to being beat down that then you don't even go and try to find out what's there. But that's where I step in. When I find out that those costs came down, guess what I did? I went and told everybody else.
So what does this award mean to you?
You know, the Rankin Foundation really came into my life just like I said, when I needed it the most. You know, I was in nursing school. I was trying so hard. But, you know, going to school when you're 20 was a lot different than going to school when you're 40. Mm-hmm. So many things had changed, so I struggled at first. And I actually failed a class initially when I started. And so I was like, where in the world am I going to get this money to retake this class? You know, so I didn't know that I would be able to continue or finish. So once I just kind of Google searched and I scrolled and I looked, I came across the Rankin Scholarship, and I'm like, I live in Iowa, probably not going to get this scholarship all the way from Georgia. But
surprise.
I did. I know, surprise. And so that really gave me that next step to be able to continue my education to even be here today.
And what would you say to the Rankin Foundation?
You know, I just got me a whole new, just a big, broad range of sisters. And I love it. I love it so much.
Bridget, congratulations.
Thank
we are
you.
so proud of you. Now, you know, Bridget, it is an example of how much impact a Rankin Scholar can have on family and community. There are 186 Rankin Scholars this year. You know, women, wow. You are empowering to change the trajectory of their lives. What do you say, Rob?
I tell you what, this is one of the favorite parts of this program. When we get a chance, actually, I'm going to encourage everyone, get your tissues up.
Oh, yeah.
Because the Rankin Foundation has the process of sharing the good news about the scholarship award via Zoom. Now, they think the scholars are thinking that this is just a part of the interview. They don't know that they have actually received the scholarship. So we're going to share some of the reactions from Rankin scholars when they find out that they have received the scholarship. Now, remember, the scholarship is $2,500 a year, and the median income of a Rankin scholar is about $20,000 a year. So they're being told that they have an additional 10% of their annual income, unrestricted, coming to them to help with school costs. What if somebody told you that you had a bonus of 10% of your yearly income coming your way?
Congratulations on being one of the finalists for the Jeannette Rankin Foundation Scholarship. The fact that I'm a finalist, I'm like super excited.
I want to go ahead and tell you that you're actually a scholarship winner, Sarah.
What do you mean?
Like, you won. You win. What? What?
Yay! Are you serious? Oh my goodness, thank you.
Wow. Wow. I'm getting sweaty. Oh my God.
I might cry in a second. Oh my God. Oh my God. Really?
Oh my God.
I wasn't going to cry.
You have no idea how much I really needed this.
Wow, that's a big deal.
This just made sleepless nights and missing basketball games. It just made it worth it.
It's nice to have people on your side when it can be hard.
It really has been very difficult, and I'm glad because this is going to put me one step closer to doing the work that I need to do in my community, because we need it here.
Thank you. I'll work hard.
You tricked me.
This is good news for me. Oh, I've got chill bumps. Okay, this is the highlight of my day.
Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm on one of those TV shows.
What? I'm so excited.
It just makes me feel like I can do anything. So thank you. It's going to change my life.
What an honor. Thank you. I will make you proud. I will make you proud.
Wow, you know each of you out there has the power to help provide the kind of moment that you just saw. I support the Rankin Foundation to ensure that they can continue this life-changing mission. And today it's our privilege to ask you to join us in contributing your financial support to provide the type of funding that's the most essential to carrying forward our work and supporting Rankin Scholars' unrestricted operating funds. Karen.
These funds are what keep the doors open, the scholar support staff employed, and the scholar grants flowing. We invite you to make a reoccurring gift that forms the foundation of our great work, making the long-sought dreams of women achievable. To facilitate this, I'd like to request our table captains to distribute the pledge cards that are on your table.
Now, using these pledge cards together right now, let's be the spark that transforms futures through education, the futures you've heard about tonight that have been changed.
Let's quickly walk you through the pledge cards. Starting on the front side of the card, at the box on the top, we invite you to join us and be a great force, and I'll explain a little more about that in a moment. At each level of giving is meant to give you a person in this room a sense of how your generosity can give a woman and their families the strength to find a better future through post-secondary education. So the bachelor's level is a pledge of $1,250 a year for 5 years, which is less than $3 a day. It covers the cost of a semester of unrestricted support for Rankin Scholars, making the potential of finishing another term of her education possible. You heard what Bridget said about flunking a class and getting the money from the Rankin Foundation to take it again.
Now let's look at the master's level. It's $2,500 a year for 5 years. This gift underwrites the cost of a year-long scholar grant for a Rankin Scholar. moving her one step closer to achieving her post-secondary dream.
The specialist level is $5,000 a year for 5 years. This gift allows 2 Rankin Scholars to complete a full year of studies for 5 years, help paying the rent, car payments, new tires, and an unexpected medical bill.
And then there's the doctorate level. It's an incredibly generous gift of $10,000 a year for 5 years. This gift provides scholar grant support to 20 Rankin Scholars.
Now, we realize not everyone can make this kind of commitment, and in the section below, we provide the option to pledge any amount for any number of years.
You also have the option to make a one-time gift or a monthly donation.
Know that whatever amount you can contribute is truly appreciated and that your investment today will have an immediate impact. I'll give you some time now to finish filling out your pledge card. When you are finished, please put the card in the envelope provided and pass it back to your table captain. Thank you to everyone for helping us envision and build a world where Rankin Scholars can turn a dream deferred into a dream fulfilled. We sincerely appreciate you all. So, we've mentioned this Great Force campaign, a campaign to transform futures through education. Every year, the scholar applicants go through a rigorous 3-stage judging process. And by the way, you can be part of that process. If you want to volunteer as an application reader, go to rankinfoundation.org/volunteer and sign up. All the details are there. We are actively recruiting now for judging in the spring. All right, so we believe that every woman who makes it to level 3 should be awarded a scholar grant. They are fully qualified. However, we are only able to provide grants for 50% of them because of our funding. So our first goal is to be able to provide scholar grants to all of the women that make it to level 3. And take note, there are 2 million women out there working on post-secondary education who fit our grant criteria. The unmet need is huge. So for these reasons, we launched the Great Force campaign 2 years ago. We invite you to join us in Jeannette's charge to be a great force. Our Be a Great Force goal is to raise $13 million. And we've already raised $7.1 million. Everything contributed tonight will be counted towards that goal. And you can go to beagreatforce.org and the page will come up that you are seeing right here with all the information you need. So our fundraising for the goal, for the Great Force campaign doesn't end tonight, it begins tonight. And we need each of you to share the information about this campaign with your networks and your communities, far and wide over the next year, and be the Great Force in support of our Shining Star Scholars.
You cannot have a society that blooms and grows if you do not have the voices of women.
Something about being able to walk across that stage to receive your diploma after the numbers of hours that you put in, the sacrifices you've made, the times you know that you've cried and whatever else you've done. One thing I know now is once you get your education, there's nothing, no one, nobody, no one can do to take that away from you.
Jeannette Rankin would be extremely proud of the work and the mission that's been created in her name, in her honor, and to carry on the important work that she started. She was such a pioneer, and I'm so grateful for her hard work and her example, her toughness, her resilience, standing up for what she believed in, and especially for women and children. I would hope that she would be incredibly proud of what the women, the founding mothers, have done in her honor, and the work that continues and that will hopefully continue for a long time.
We have named our strategic growth campaign the Great Force Campaign based on a quote from Jeannette Rankin, where she talked about women being a great force in this country. And she talked about that in a speech to Congress, talking about the 19th Amendment. We want to carry on the great force that Jeannette was to help more and more women and really expand and amplify her legacy.
Investing in women is investing in the future of this country's economic development. And that's why this work, this foundation's work, is so important because, again, we're not just writing checks and sending people off to go and get a degree. We're investing in them throughout their journey.
It's not a handout, it's an investment. It's an investment in their future, and it's an investment in this country's future, and we will all benefit.
So you see, the Rankin Foundation is doing some important work, and I believe in it so much that I'm proud to share with you that I am an honorary co-chair of Rankin Foundation's Great Force campaign. So Rob, you know, I've got some information here that I think folks are gonna wanna hear. I've got the lucky raffle winners. Do you have them?
I do. Why don't you take number 1 and I'll take number 2? How's that?
Fair enough. Winner number 1, Ben Atchison.
And Monica, what did he win? I believe that was a $1,000 Delta vacation gift card.
Ooh, that's pretty cool. So what is your winner number 2 getting?
Winner number 2 is getting a $500 gift card, and that goes to, drum roll, everybody, drum roll on the tables. That goes to S. Freeman.
Oh! S. Freeman is here with us in Atlanta. Woohoo!
All right, makes the morning, S. Freeman.
Yeah, I wonder where Atchison is, where Ben is. Somebody needs to let us know. Well, thank you, Rob, and thanks to, you know, all of you who made our goal possible. But our fundraising for the Great Force campaign does not end tonight. It begins tonight. And we need each of you to share the information about the campaign with your networks and your communities far and wide over the next year. We want you to be the great force in support of our shining star scholars, or shall I say the way you do, stars. Now, here are Rankin Scholars thanking you for your generosity. Thank you. And what should we say, buddy? Good night.
Thank you so much.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
This foundation's amazing.
This foundation is amazing.
You give hope where there's none, so thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you, Jeannette Rankin Foundation. I won't let you down.
Thank you so much for helping me get to the point where I can provide for my children the way that they need to be provided for. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you for JRF and all of the donors.
I know there are many generous donors out there who have a huge heart. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for seeing me.
I can't even express how helpful this is to my family right now. Sorry. No, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I'm so deeply grateful. You have no idea. I'm so grateful. So grateful.
I promise to do this foundation proud.
I'll say it in Lakota. Wopila pila meya. Yellow.
Thank you very much.
I just want to say thank you. I cannot ever repay you, but I promise to pay it forward.
Thank y'all so much. Really, I promise you I will not let y'all down.
Thank you so much for all that you do. I'm speaking on behalf of all of us.